Hey, what is going on, everybody? Rohit, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. That is always great to hear, and I definitely do remember. John, how are you, bud? Ginger Muslim 86. Hey, Kai, what's going on? Devil Dog, thanks so much for showing up. Tom, good evening. Good evening to you, or good morning. Yeah, it is my morning. It's 9:30 a.m. for me. But yeah, it's good day. Good day, right? Good day, good night, good evening. And Parzival, thanks, Vega. I didn't know you knew about Makar Sankranit. Yeah, you know what? Fortunately, someone on the Discord server wished to everyone, and so that caused me to look it up. And it sounds like I want to be respectful, so I apologize if I used the wrong term, but it sounds like a wonderful holiday. So happy to learn more and more about it. It's one of the coolest things about doing this is just learning about all the wonderful traditions around the world and cultures and ways of doing and seeing things. So I'm really enjoying that. And yo, what is up? So we're going to continue on with the monthly quest here, going to finally work on the Stryfe chapter. I'm bringing in Archangel and I think Magneto. My understanding is he is metal. And realistically, I go through them, but it's not until I really face them in war, or if it's really tough content, that I really like dive into the champion and how to defeat them and things like that. Of course, if we're really struggling, we'll go ahead and take a look at it. Otherwise, we're just going to dive right in. But I feel like it's war that really was what gets me to finally to look at a champion and their abilities, how to go ahead and attack them. Hot coffee, what's going on? John, you know what? I looked it up. So someone on the on our Discord server, and I apologize for not knowing their name off the top of my head, but wished everyone a happy Makar Sankranit. I apologize if I'm saying the name wrong. And it caused me to look it up this morning. And if the information I found was correct, it seemed like it had a lot to do with like diversity and coming together and inclusion. If that is totally wrong, let me know. But I was like, I'm in for all of those things: inclusion, diversity, sharing of ideas, and learning from one another. That is me. Like I would hope that that's what people would think of when they think of me. So Lorenzo, what would be the ideal 6-star pool for a beginner? Consider that it would be unawakened. The ideal. When I get questions like this, or like who's my favorite, Doom is always a champion that jumps right to mind for me, just because he is so awesome. He's amazing. He is incredible in war. He is incredible in questing content. He's one of the horsemen for the Abyss, although we are getting more and more champions that are making us wonder, I think, if there's replacements for those four. And then if prestige ever becomes important to you, he has the second highest prestige in the whole game, which, I realize you're saying unawakened, but eventually you might awaken him. And so if prestige becomes important to you and AQ and things like that, Doom is like, he is all of the things for me. He just doesn't have immunities. But come on, if he had immunities, he'd be the best champion in the game. Obviously, Ghost is great. I do like her awakened ability. And then there is no 6-star Quake. So, Chris, hey, Vega, love your streams. Thanks so much, dude. I appreciate that. As much as you love streaming. Wow, that's a lot then. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I know we talk a lot. I try to answer the questions, and sometimes we go off on life stuff. But there is more and more gameplay as I'm getting better at doing the streams while doing gameplay. John, I'll put some Sorcerer Supreme list. This is true. That's a great call. Sorcerer Supreme and Claire. If you can't tell, or if you're not familiar, I love Mystics. I think Mystics are probably very difficult to make. This is my assumption. I have no proof on this, but I would think that they are very difficult to make because so many of them involve power, and in every single fight, power is involved. It is involved in every single fight, and they're the only class that's like that. In fact, that's one of the things that's tough about a champion like Dragon Man, where even he has power gain. That's part of why I think he's so good. But champions, they don't nullify buffs, so they don't gain power, they don't steal power. I think that they just start off in a different place from Mystics. So yeah, John, I agree. Near Salvam, I apologize for the pausing there. Hey, buddy, thank you so much for showing up. Also, Human Torch. Human Torch would be incredible, and definitely does not need the Awaken. Dalamut, hey, buddy. How's it going? AC344, what's up, man? How are you? Clyde, you have class 5. All right. Thanks for being here. Get to class, pay attention. Doesn't even matter what class it is. In my opinion, the best thing about school, until you're really getting into like those master's and doctorate level stuff, is that you're just learning different ways of thinking. You're learning different ways of approaching a problem, and that is going to help you so much in life. I went to law school. I was a lawyer for like 2 months, and that was it. But I use that education. I use the taking premises and then logically thinking them through to what is a logical conclusion. Even if I don't like that logical conclusion, I really got to fine tune that in law school. So whatever class you're in, man, whatever class you're in, I think you've told me you're a little on the younger side. It doesn't matter. Just really pay attention, learn the things, and learn like how are they trying to get you to think? What is this way of thinking and analyzing, and then how can you apply that in life? You're going to learn a lot of great stuff. Man, Falcon, what's up, dude? I thank you so much for showing up, dude. MCOCSPK25 is Master good. Taskmaster good. Master. I just made up a champion. Yeah, he's all right. He's all right. He can do a lot. I think he's very complex to use. In fact, I'd almost say complicated because there's a lot going on there. But if you can use him very well, you can do some things. And so he is good. I think in today's current meta and with all the champions coming out, I think that there are superior champions that take less effort. But if you like him, if you like what he does, yeah, he's good and can do a lot. Parzival, Makar Sankranid is a celebration change of axis of Earth respective to the sun. This is the day when from when days start to get longer and nights to get smaller. Okay, so the sites I read must have editorialized quite a bit, but that's very cool. Is the day when people in India and Nepal celebrate their harvests, crops. Okay, which is incredibly important to all cultures as we're coming up. Food, of course, being a big deal. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really do appreciate it. I remember at MSD saying Taskmaster is as good as the player. I could see that, Tom. I think that makes a lot of sense. Hey, man, I have a quick question. What should I do rank 4 of these 4? Cap, Infinity War, Gwenpool, Colossus, all Sig 40. Colossus on those. He is just as good as Cap, Infinity War, if not better, when they're maxed out. And Cap, Infinity War's Sig is much more important. Colossus at 40 should be fine. And as you rank them and you just happen to collect more Sigs on Colossus, it'll just improve him as opposed to opening up a whole new style of play, which is what happens to Cap, Infinity War when you get him to that Sig 180, 200. I think we're going back to the Taskmaster question. Is we definitely got to it. I know there was a little bit of a stream delay, so hopefully that got Mastaster. Mastaster is even better than Taskmaster. If you can get Mastaster, you'll be doing great. People who just tune in are like, "What the heck is this guy talking about?" All right, Clyde. Yeah, that's great, buddy. Have a great one. Azim, what 6 stars should I do? Warlock or Doom? Ooh. Both super lucky pools. They are whichever one you need. So if you need that nullifier, if you need that power controller, Doom. If you need the dual immunities there, Warlock. Or if you need the passive heal block. They both have so much awesome stuff in their kit. I just happen to love Doom, but Warlock is up there. He's just as good of a champion. So congratulations. Take whichever one up is either more fun or will fill a hole in your roster. I think I would break that down between the power control and the nullifications versus the dual immunities and the passive heal block. Both incredibly important. Just which do you need in your roster and which one will help you with maybe some content that you're looking forward to getting to first. But both great. Congratulations, Azim. Parzival. Okay, so we're talking to each other. Awesome. Adam Johnson, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for stopping by. Roxas, after hearing you talk about watching Marvel Rising with your kids, I introduced you to my daughter yesterday. They loved it. Dude, that is so awesome. I love that. That is so cool. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. It's also on YouTube. At least last I checked, it was still on YouTube. And yeah, so that's where I started really enjoying Squirrel Girl. So I have two kids. They're both daughters, ages 10 and 5. And introducing them to the comics and things like this. And the Marvel Rising is just great. I don't think it's necessarily for girls. I would think that boys would love it too. But I think it definitely is very welcoming to girls. I think it's very welcoming to girls. And then the squirrel girl on there is just a great character, right? Like, really, she's awesome. I could talk a lot about that, man. Thank you. TQ, I believe this. Thank you. Dualamont, I have been going for 6-star Ghost Rider because I have tier 5 CC to take him to rank 3. Okay. No luck as of yet. I'm sorry. Do you think I should keep getting features or basics? I think if you really want him, and I think go for it. There are so many awesome champions in this current featured that I think the odds of pulling a champion that will actually help your roster are actually pretty high, right? This is the kind of the stinky part of RNG, because, you know, some people say like, well, I don't want to waste the 15,000 shards. And I get that, and that is true. However, the odds of pulling a bad champion in the basic crystal are actually significantly higher. So while it feels safer because you're spending less shards, you're spending less shards for worse odds. The way I tend to approach the game and these crystals is, if there's someone I really want, I'm going to open the crystal that gives me the best chance of getting them. Now, it hasn't worked out for me. I still don't have Nick Fury. Despite, and for those of you who don't know, I have a prestige. Just check this out. I have a prestige 13,852. Let's look at the 6 stars really quick. I'm not doing this as some sort of weird flex. I'm doing this to show you what I'm talking about. This is evidence of what I'm talking about. This is not some sort of ego flex or anything like that. Okay. This is my 6-star roster. All right. And I still do not have Nick Fury. It's just RNG. This can happen. That being said, if there's another Nexus crystal and the game is still in the exact same place as it is, I will open skill, because Nick Fury is the one that could actually help me, and that's the best chance of getting Nick Fury. So I hope that answers the question. I hope that's helpful. Metal Sonic, dude, what's up, man? Dude, I am really excited. I've read the written breakdown. Someone translated your Perdition video, and they put it into, I think, Portuguese and English, and I was reading that. It sounds very cool, dude. I have the video on to watch. It's just this morning. I was taking care of my kids, getting them to school, and then jumping on here. But I am really pumped up for that video, man. And then Robin, who is the best apocalypse counter? Quite a few. We saw Tigra do really great against him with the ability to miss those specials. And then, of course, Warlock can do good work, Gilly 99, and don't sleep on Guardian. So those are some of the best out there, too. I'm going to jump into a little bit of gameplay here, and then I will do my best to keep up with the chat. If I miss anything, don't feel badly repeating a question. Please don't spam, but go ahead and repeat a question if I miss it. There's no harm in that. Sergeant Bourne, what's up, dude? Thanks so much for showing up. Samuel, how are you doing, dude? Wet Noodle, Doom and Magneto. That's right. Apocalypse is metal, isn't he? I think I found that out the hard way on a stream once. I was just questing, and I was bringing in my Apocalypse, and we went into a Magneto, and it didn't go that well. Are you asking if I have an R3? This is the one problem with not just reading the chat correctly, is sometimes I don't know if the question's for me or not. I do not have an R3 Symbiote Supreme. He is very high sig. He was going to be in my prestige plans. And I don't recall exactly what happened. But I decided to go, I realized I could get a higher prestige by taking up other champions. And so I did not take him up. Which is fine. He was going to be prestige for me. I think he's a great champion, but I think what he does, he can do just fine at R2 in the current meta of the game. All right. I'm looking forward to fighting Stryfe. I actually have not done that yet. So I'm looking forward to getting in there. I might take a look at his abilities just a little bit to kind of understand what exactly it is he does. I'm getting excited for him, but mainly I'm excited for him because of what he can do for Apocalypse. I do love Apocalypse as it is. Uh-oh, got myself in a little bit of trouble here. Let's see. Yeah. If I could have landed the repair, we would have been better off. Stryfe is an easy fight, to be honest. Okay, Stryfe is metal. Yeah, so that's why I brought in Magneto and Archangel, was just to handle those to Stryfe in case, it gets a little troublesome. And in case it's not clear, that's another reason why I love Doom. Is if something goes wrong, chances are if he takes that 5-hit combo or whatever, you're going to be just fine. I do really enjoy War, and so having a champion that's tanky is extremely, extremely helpful. It's one of the biggest things I've noticed is that tankiness in War gets, I think, valued significantly more than it does in just your general questing. If you die in a quest, you can always heal up and revive or something like that. If you die in War, it's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. Metal Sonic Dude, the Apocalypse energy can make him even better for Abyss with Stryfe. But what about Stryfe himself? Because I feel like I've seen some videos and I'm getting contrasting views on there. And, I get it. It's tough, right? Like I make thumbnails, I write headlines. I understand is you're trying to get people to be interested in what's in there without overselling it. But sometimes just the wrong message comes out or the one you didn't intend. And so I feel like when I first saw the CCP videos, I was like, oh, cool. A mutant Aegon. That's going to be awesome. And then I started seeing videos that were like, no, this isn't mutant Aegon. So what do we think? What are we currently thinking on Stryfe? Because I will also be honest, I'm thinking about hunting him. I don't think I'm going to hunt him in this Jubilee crystal. Like, I don't think I'm even going to open any of this Jubilee and Spider-Ham crystal. I would like to dupe my Spider-Ham, but I'm going to go ahead and wait for the next featured 6-star crystal for that. I'm not overly excited about Jubilee. So I'm thinking the crystal with Stryfe and whoever's next. I'm hoping it's a Mystic, a Skill, or a Cosmic with very high prestige. I think that's who I'm going to hunt. But I want to see what the thoughts on Stryfe are before. You think he'll be a great Abyss champion? What about just like general question? Do you see him having use in War too? I was able to bring Apocalypse into War, last War, without any of his synergies, and the guy still wrecked stuff. So I am really pumped up about that. Ariel, hey Vega, thank you for another legendary lesson MCOC, and thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by. I think you made both of the streams yesterday too, so that's cool. AC, a mutant Aegon non-existent. Okay, that's what I thought. And sometimes that happens, right? I'll do that myself, where someone asks a question, I'll be like, oh, this champion's just like Hyperion. And then I'm like, wait, no, he's not. He's not just like Hyperion. It's just he has really great power gain. But then, folks heard he's just like Hyperion, which I did say, and then they run with that. And so I really am not blaming anyone who compared him to Aegon. I understand why they would say that. But then as a viewing community, that's what we latch onto, right? But also, the damage numbers were exactly where I predicted them to be, and they were very high. Everything scales how I calculated it would be. MSD, but are you talking about Stryfe, or are you talking about your Cosmic Ghost Rider video that you just put out? And then you're saying as a war champ, probably not as useful. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, the war champ meta is hard to break into. There's 10 champions that get taken regularly, and then that's about it. Whoa, thank you so much, Psychroptics. Let me put that up there. I don't know how much that translates into dollars, and it doesn't matter. I always appreciate this so much. Thank you. That just lets me know that that what I'm putting out there is an audience for, and that people are enjoying it. So thank you for doing that. All right. As a war champ promo is useful. Okay, yeah, but that's what we were talking about. The war champ meta is just so tough to break into. I got to take Apocalypse recently. I do think my my BG leaders in Clowniest Clown and then B Manny, I think they're letting the group have a little fun. They're trying to try some stuff out. But for the most part, you see a lot of Doom, you see a lot of Human Torch, and the like. Warlock, of course, Quake, Omega Red, Sabretooth, but purely as the synergy for Omega Red, Void, concentrate a little bit here. I don't particularly want to send Venom red if I can avoid it. I don't mind spending items, but I don't want to do it just because I'm being oblivious. Oh, that was in regard to Stryfe. Oh, dude, that's awesome. So the damage numbers are pretty good. The damage numbers are pretty good. That is great to hear. Osmond, what's up? Thank you so much for showing up. I think this got buried. How far down the prestige list would you go to consider someone a prestige champ? I know that you asked a very specific question, John. And it's all relative. And I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but I think it's really relative to what you're trying to do. Like, I think there's people who have 12,000 prestige, and if they're just looking to be at a certain level of AQ, like, that's great. That's massive prestige. That is massive prestige. You know, like I said, I tend to forget these things. The prestige on my account is 13,852. That is ridiculous. Why does anyone need that? Like, that's absurd. It just was something I wanted to do. I had a lot of fun planning it. I was in the AQ1 Alliance, and so I was trying to be an asset to them. But aside from that, like, it does you no good aside from being in a higher AQ Alliance and earning a higher AQ score, which is nice, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't help you do questing. So I would say if they're like in the top 5 of their class, they're probably going to be, I would say you could loosely use the term prestige champ. And if anyone gives you a hard time on that, you could be like, dude, come on. Like, I think that they're considered to be high prestige. The other reason why I think it's relative is they keep coming up with higher and higher prestige. I fully expect this to be the year that we see champions that are above Rag Thor and below Doom. I thought that was going to happen last year and it didn't, but it does need to eventually happen. At least I think it does. And I believe it will. I believe it will, and I'm planning on it too. Jacob, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for showing up. Cycropus, this is just the monthly EQ, working through and going to fight Stryfe for the first time. Just want to check out the guy's animations. I'm starting to kind of get excited for him. I'm not even going to open any crystals for Jubilee and Spider-Ham. As much as I like Spider-Ham, and I am working on the R3 video now for him. I don't think his awakened ability appears to be that important for offensive use, and so I'm not going to hunt that. I'll just wait for the featured crystal, and then Jubilee. She looks like a lot of fun, but I don't currently see her doing much for my roster, and I've already got so many mutants that I want to rank up. So as a result, I am more focused on Stryfe and that next champion, whoever that next champion is. Obviously, I don't know who it is. I am hopeful for a really high prestige, or really war impacting or game impacting champion in the Mystic class, the Skill class, or the Cosmic class, because mainly because I have Awakening Gems for them, and I am on various levels of working towards a Tier 5 CC. So it's just kind of like how I'm enjoying playing the game. But knowing that the damage numbers look good on Stryfe, and that he synergizes so well with Apocalypse, who I love and have at R3, I'm getting a little excited about Stryfe. So I'm excited just to even check him out. Probably didn't need to go to the second SP3, but it felt worth it. It felt worth it. Is Stryfe Abyss viable? I feel like MSD Metal Sonic Dude was saying he thought maybe he was. Maybe we can go back up and take a look at it. And I think that's maybe where the Mutant Aegon conversation kind of came from. Was that this was a champion that looked good for long-form content. I always like to remind people when you're doing this fight, Guardian is an excellent counter for Havoc, but before you throw that SP2, make sure you land a heavy. Here, let's make sure I do it correctly. And you want to have them be really close together if you can. Havoc's not playing ball. He's like, I know you're trying to show something here, and I am going to ruin your plans. Come on, Havoc. Ah, Havoc. Why do you do this? Why? Jubilees is like Psylocke. Should be forgotten soon. That's sad. Oh, I wish that wasn't true. I wish that wasn't true. And wow, Havoc, why do you gotta ruin a good time, dude? Why do you have to ruin a good time? I really don't have another answer for him. So I think we will revive. We'll have to revive? Let's see here. What should we do? I'm really unsure. Yeah, we gotta revive. That stinks. That stinks. Oh well, it is what it is. Stryfe is in the beta. Oh really? Oh, you saw him on Karate Mike's. Oh yeah, because Karate Mike was streaming, wasn't he? So Wet Noodle, you saw him during the stream? Because I don't think Mike actually played him, right? And I know you didn't say that, but I just want to confirm. I think the question was, what's more important, Mystic Dispersion or Glass Cannon? If you don't run Suicides, if you're running Mystic Champions, Mystic Dispersion, I would say for sure. There's a lot of people who like to have it at 3 out of 5. I personally got used to 5 out of 5. Back when I was kind of learning about those things, 5 out of 5 was the way to go. And so now I'm just used to it. I've gotten used to it. Sometimes it messes me up a little bit, but that's where I'm at. John Lash, still working on getting a 6-star Awaken that isn't Moon Knight. Good luck, man. It takes a while. Take your time. Try not to feel any pressure on that. So that was, as I'm thinking this through more, that was a really bad example of Guardian. What I really should have done there was gone in and ended a combo in a light. As you see, it does drain some power. So if I was more on my game, I would have done that. So keep that in mind for all you Guardian fans out there. Or for those of you who are still a little suspicious of him. There are answers to that. So there's the heavy. We've got our second armor up, which will make this safe to throw. And there we go. We've got him down. Yeah, so he didn't play. They can't show gameplay yet. Cool, Wet Noodle. I just wanted. I felt certain that's what happened with Mike, but again, kind of like I was saying with headlines and people misunderstanding stuff, I wanted to make sure that we made it very clear that Mike wasn't playing Stryfe. You just happened to see him, so that's cool. Marco Rego, yeah, that's true, right? If you're not using a Mystic, then the Mystic Dispersion isn't very helpful at all. So that's a great point. That is a great point. Kabam, we fixed the AI. I am very frustrated with Kabam right now. I am very frustrated, and I will explain why. I am working on a video of on the Do You Bleed lane in AQ. I know that not a lot of people will watch it, but I think it's important. I take it. It is an annoying lane. Sorry, hold on. KT1, thank you so much for stopping by, dude. Slacker, are you kidding me? I streamed twice yesterday, and I think I have streamed every morning this week. Come on, dude. Slacker. Funny joke, I know. And thank you. Hey, you actually saved me from... I was ready. I was so tempted to take my Kingpin to rank 3. I don't know if you guys get this way. I do, where I'm like, I just want to rank someone up. I just want to rank anyone. And I've got the resource. I'm like a little kid who just got their allowance. I can't wait to spend it. And so I wanted to take King. I took Kingpin to rank 2, and I was just ready to take him to rank 3. I have 2 skill, tier 5 CC. Fortunately, KT1 was streaming at that time, so I hopped on there, Do I want you to time out K2? Yeah, let's time out K21. That'd be the. That's funny, man, Falcon. And so I hopped onto K21 stream, and I was like, dude, please remind me why I should not R3 Kingpin now. And he had the perfect answer, and he said, Old Man Logan. And I was like, there you go. Thank you so much. That is perfect, right? Because I know if you all are like me, when you think about champs getting a rework, I think of Magneto, I think of Venom, I think of a Hulkbuster, I think of all these really awesome champions that have gotten a rework, and then I just completely forget that there's been a lot who, I mean, they're fine. Old Man Logan's a good champion. Don't get me wrong. I think he's very usable, but I don't want to use a tier 5 CC to rank up Old Man Logan right now if I don't need to. So thank you, KT1. I'm still grateful for that. And what's up, K21? When does the stream start? And you know what? I am all for that. If K21 is starting to stream soon, post it in here. If people want to watch K21, they should. He is awesome. He is a wealth of knowledge, and he is hilarious. But aside from that, he's really bad at this. So he's excellent at the game. He is funny, and he has a ton of knowledge. Aside from that, he has nothing to offer. Samuel, do you believe Path NAQ is super easy? So you're right. It is. If you don't, that's ultimately what I end up doing. I end up hitting into the block with a 4 ramped up, I can't think of the correct term, but a 4 charge Corvus. And it annoys the heck out of me. The lane is called Do You Bleed? And like on some sort of bizarre, not very smart principle level, it bothers me that is my best option. It bothers me. And so I like to bring in bleed champions. Squirrel Girl can crush it. And so I have a couple fights with her that are going to be included. And I happen to know... No, KT1. No. I hope you could tell I was joking. You are a legend in my mind and for me, and I appreciate everything you've done for me and my channel. But going back to it, so it bothers me. So Squirrel Girl can crush some of those fights, and I happen to know that Wolverine can too, especially if he's made a horseman. And so I did some of that, and I didn't record. The recording failed. So Do You Bleed is now back. And I was going in, I purposely took in my Apocalypse. I had it all planned out. I had used no items. I got Apocalypse, who was 4 genetic charge, the whole thing. And so I get to the first fight against Wasp. I click the little thing to use the charges from Apocalypse to make a horseman. I go into the fight with Wolverine, and Wolverine is not a horseman. And it's just like, you know what, Kabam? Like, how do you break that? That's not something that was previously broken and you just weren't able to fix it. That's literally just, like, there's no reason for that. There's no reason for that at all. And it was very, very frustrating to me. You could probably tell this is about as frustrated as I get with these sorts of things. And I was very, very frustrated. Sorry, not that great of a story, but it is what it is. Luckily, I had my Corvus, as was pointed out, and so I was able to finish off the quest for us in the lane. Really wasn't an issue, but I didn't get to use my Wolverine like I wanted, and that's what makes it fun. You know, the fun game's not that fun if you don't get to use the champions that are fun. K21, are you really saying you're going to grind out Jubilee? Do you like her, or is it just because you don't think she'll go for much? So I was on here a little earlier saying that I'm not that excited about her. I don't think she's really going to add anything to my roster. So as a result, I'm not even going to open any crystals for her and Spider-Ham. I have Spider-Ham at rank 3. I do like him, but I'm just going to wait for the featured crystal to try to awaken him. I don't think that the awakened ability really adds much to his offensive kit. But I am excited for Stryfe. Yeah, wet noodle Corvus. I learned that a while ago. I don't. I actually think I did have an issue in NY. One day I had, with COVID, I'm not traveling very much, but I usually take a trip about 4 to 5 times a year for a board meeting, and I had that, and AQ coincided with that board meeting, and so I had a pretty rough AQ, and I think it got close. I don't think I actually did item out, but boy, did it get close. And I hadn't brought my Corvus for whatever reason. There was something about that day that I did not take him. And that's when I learned, like, just bring Corvus. You never know what's going to go wrong. It could be something like Kabam and their game just not working. And you'll be grateful that you had your Corvus. And the thing is Wolverine was actually able to still do some of the fights, especially because of the global. He got a massive bleed off on the specials into their block. And so that was kind of cool. And I think I'll have a video that'll include that. I didn't really think about this fight and how long it would take. But we're almost through. And there we go. Carl, what's up, man? How are you? Thanks so much for stopping by. You missed my angry rant. I was angry at Kabam. I am angry at Kabam. You missed it. It was really fun. All right, Ace. That's his favorite X-Men champ. He's wanted her in the game forever. Oh, really? KT1 and Jubilee? I didn't. How did I not know that? How did I not know that? How did I not catch on to that? Oh, man. Thank you for explaining that to me, though. I appreciate it. Psychoptics, for you, it's Gilly 99. She's just amazing. She has everything. Yeah, she is like that too, especially because of that heal, right? The heal that just will like heal you all the way back up to like almost 50%, if not more. She's awesome. I agree with you. And then the whole non-critting thing, depending on the global. I can't think what the name of the global is that penalizes you for crits. Although if you play that correctly with Corvus, you can actually heal up from it even more than you'd already do. But just because Corvus is good doesn't mean Gilly 99 is not. She's awesome. Marco, that was awesome. Thank you. I don't know if you wrote that before I went on my anger rant about Wolverine, but yeah, that is about as what it is. And I think you probably understood. I was joking about I love K2 he is awesome. We became friends while we were at NY. We didn't agree on everything. It kind of reminded me a little bit about his conversation he was having with Mandalorian yesterday on their stream. We didn't agree on everything, but when we disagreed, it was a very respectful conversation. I'd like to think that typically both of us came away from it feeling like we maybe learned a little something, or we saw a perspective that we hadn't previously seen. And then he was so cool, man. I had told him I had wanted to start the YouTube channel for a while. We had been friendly for quite a while before I had kind of given up on the YouTube channel, to be honest, the idea on it. And then I decided to start it. I don't even think he was in NY anymore. I don't know. I'm getting the story a little screwy. But he was the person who told me. He's like, look, if you work hard at it, and if your stuff's any good, and very KT1, right? Very forthright, very honest. And I think it's good, though. I think it's good to have that sort of forthrightness about you. He's like, if it's any good, I will shout you out. I will help you out. And wow, has that been incredibly helpful to me to have those shout outs. I probably could have moved into the poison phase there, but it is what it is. Cascading failure. That's correct. That's what it's called. Thank you. All right. Let's see if we can't finish this guy off. I find evading his SP2 is much easier for me than his SP1. So I was glad we were able to kind of keep him in that place. That was nice. Carl, oh no, what was the rant about? I might have to watch it on the replay. Basically, I wanted to do a "Do you bleed" video on the lane. Do you bleed? Because so much was just hit into block. We just take Corvus, we hit into the block. It's really boring. It can often mean a lot of timeouts if the AI isn't cooperating with you, and so I brought in Squirrel Girl. She can be awesome on. I think someone asked if the crit bleeds count as the bleeds. They most definitely do. And then I was able to configure my fights, so I was able to bring in. Not paying attention. I was able to bring in Apocalypse and ramp him up. I didn't have Cable or Kang. And so then I went to make Wolverine a horseman. I was trying to throw my special, didn't work. Fusky, thank you so much, Fusky, dude. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'll get that updated here in just a second. Just stopped in to hang out for a few. I really appreciate that, man. How's your new year going? We're in week 2 of it now. Back to work. I know in my family, I am really not paying attention. I really should. I know in my family, this week seems a little more difficult than last week did for whatever reason. I think, the first week back, I think we took that enthusiasm of week 1 into it with us. And then in week 2, the shine came off a little bit. And so like going back to work and just all that stuff and getting back to school, like the kids, they're still excited to see their friends, but they're not as geeked up as they were the first week. So if you're still here, buddy, how's week 2 going for you? Let me get this updated. How about everyone else too? Any funny week 2 going back to work and school? Work in progress. The Horseman thing has been bugged in Houston's APOC. No, so it's probably bugged in the way that the Human Torch pre-fight is bugged, in that it works sometimes. Because I know I've made Wolverine a Horseman before. I might go back and see if I still have the footage. Because I got the footage, some of it didn't record. I wasn't totally satisfied with it, so I didn't turn it into a video. But now I pretty much have everything but that. I don't know. So it works sometimes, but I would not go into AQ relying on that. As we were saying, make sure you've got Corvus or something like that, just in case all breaks down and you need it. Yeah, this is the last quest for EQ. Finally jumping in to fight Stryfe a little bit here. I'll take a look at it, see his animations, and see if, in general, I'm just looking to see if I like him. Sabby, bunch of kids at my school got COVID and they still haven't shut down the school. Holy smokes. Where, if you don't mind, if you're comfortable telling us, where do you live? Sabby, I'd be interested to hear that and see if what the reason is why they haven't shut that down, right? I mean, we were talking about earlier, we all have our different cultures and things like that, and once we kind of open our minds, sometimes we'll see there's a really good reason for that. It's just not the culture. Oh, you're in Orange County, okay, yeah. Wow, yeah, I know quite a few folks in Orange County, and I know that Orange County is a really diverse place. For those who aren't aware of it, I know that we see it on the TV, and this is a long time ago. There was that show The OC and things like that. But Orange County is actually very diverse. It's not all just beach and things like that, although the beaches are beautiful. So I could see that. I could see there being some places in Orange County where they wouldn't shut that down, and I could see there being places in Orange County where they would shut that down the first time a kid got a fever. So yeah, I'm sorry if that's the case though, but Fusky, my kids are still in virtual schooling. Same here. Yep. Which makes it a lot harder as a parent. It does, right? They made it sound like it was going to be this easy thing, but no. Now you are a parent, you are a teacher, and you are a playmate all day while trying to also get work done. Is not what we signed up for. But I don't think any of us could, we all know it's not what we signed up for. Um, Man, these nodes. After the attacker uses a special attack, a 15-second timer is started. If the attacker activates another special while this timer is active, they are inflicted with a glancing debuff. So basically, just don't throw two specials in 15 seconds. If I'm getting that correct. All right. Couldn't they have just said that? Don't do this. All right. Let's go in with Guardian just to kind of get the animations of this dude. I'm really hoping to like this guy. I'm going in hopeful of enjoying him. I like that bubble when blocking. It kind of reminds me of Doom a little bit. Let's try to see his SP1. Oh, I like the leg kick. And then now this is his miss mechanic here. All right, fair enough. So this guy's got Magneto written all over him, right? Magneto is the answer for this guy. Pretty violent SP2. The beam was pretty intuitive to evade. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's much of a defender unless there's something I'm missing here. Without having really read his abilities, I'm not seeing crazy animations. I'm not seeing the either special looking out of control or anything like that. Hector, you're saying Stryfe sucks? Okay. Is that just in general or as like as a defender? Because I'm definitely not seeing anything wild here. I read the note a little bit. I haven't really read his abilities. MSD was saying that the damage on him, though, the damage capabilities look good. Okay, that time the beam was not as easily available, but I was talking a lot. Let's see if we can just get to the SP2. All right. So now we've got the falter here. I'm thinking Human Torch would probably do some damage against this guy. I'm assuming some of this has got to be energy damage. I do like the shield. I like his animations. He looks very violent. So I'm enjoying that. But yeah, the defender stuff here is... I don't see much defender capabilities there. I have heard people think that... Jubilee is going to be the defender out of the two if there's really a use in war for them. Chop, I'm too bored at home and want to go to school, and online class is just not long enough and consistent for me. Yeah, buddy. That's honestly what my kids are saying too, and I see it. You know, we're all in this together. It's tough. None of us knew exactly how this was going to work out, but we will get through it. We're all finding ways to do our best. The analogy I use with my daughter, she's like, I want to play with my friends. Like, I want to not wear a mask. I want to run around. She loves playing soccer. And we're doing, they do a practice, but they're like, they can't actually scrimmage and they wear masks the whole time. And I was like, look, okay, here's what we're going to do. You know, first of all, I want you to know I understand. We're all in this. I would like to go out and play basketball with my friends and get a beer and watch the NFL on Sundays. I have a bar I like to go to and things like that. But I can't. And so let's think of it like a meal. You know, we can't have the full buffet right now. We can't have the full sit down meal or the buffet, but we can have a bunch of little appetizers and let's try to enjoy them as best as we can, you know, so you can FaceTime with your friend or we can go on a walk and be farther apart or things like that. So we'll get through it, Chop. And I'm sorry that it's happening. So parts about how much do I like Doom? I love Doom. I love Doom. I think you know that. John Lash, AA does wonders with Sky. It was easy with my 5-star. Okay. All right. Metal Sonic Dude. Yeah, that's as I was going through there, it's like, he's even got the mists and things like that. Yeah. I think Magneto is clearly an answer for him. So I don't think we're going to see him in war. Carl, Torch is really good for him too. Okay. So that's what I was thinking. So it looks like Some of this is energy damage. Monkey Hector, he seems pretty good. Hector, MSD is a child. Oh, okay. That's funny. Just kidding. I haven't used him. And MSD, I am indeed a child. Fusky, dude, thank you so much. So kind to you. As much as you'd like to stay and hang out, I have to get back to work. Well, I'm glad someone is responsible. Vega, we'll talk to you later. Yeah, dude. And I appreciate our chats very much. Thank you so much for stopping by, Bud. And I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. All right, let's update this. We'll still go through. I said we were going to do this chapter. I was kind of hoping for Stryfe to be a little more difficult. I know some of that is my roster. Of why he is not seeming more difficult. But let's go ahead and do this. This monthly quest will not complete itself, so I've got to do that. So let's get through it so that we can start streaming Act 7 and the latest variant again. I would like to get through that. No, I've got these resources in spades. I'm not going to spend units on that. All right. Let's keep moving. Let's catch up on some. Carl, you got to go. Thanks so much for stopping by, dude. I really appreciate it. Stabby, I'm online 2 days a week, and those are the only days I can watch Vega stream. I'm glad we could do it. Thank you so much for taking some time to watch. I really do appreciate it. Psychoptic, you got to go. All right, buds. Thanks for stopping. I really appreciate it a lot. Marco, time for bed for me. Working nights. Thanks for your interest. Dude, Marco, thank you for stopping by, dude. I really do appreciate it. Take care, and we will catch you soon. All right. Let's see here. What do we got? Let's try this. This sounds fun. Chop, can I do some Dragon Man? Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't do that. Let me check the let me check and make sure there's not something crazy that would require like an immunity or something like that. Looks like there's not. So let's back out and we'll do some Dragon Man. He's pretty fun. He doesn't really benefit from the global because of the way the global works out and his kit is. But he is awesome. He is fun, and I love playing him. And I need some practice with him. I made a really bad mistake in our last war. It was a horrible war for the whole alliance. I'm sure some people played fine, but we just played so badly. And that's not taking anything away from our opponents. They played well, and they deserve to win. But I had a pretty fun fight with Dragon Man. I was so excited to do it. And I'll tell you what happened is, after his SP3, he goes unblockable and unstoppable. And when he knocks an opponent down, he goes unblockable. I knocked down the opponent. It was the Hulkbuster on the Polka Dot Power Center Reflection. It's a tough fight. And I had the fight. I had it. It was going perfectly. It was early in the fight, but I could tell it was going to work out. I was going to get the solo. And I think it was the SP2 to apply the Incinerate, and he was under a bar of power. And I'm like, oh, I'm charging in. Like, I'm unblockable, I'm unstoppable. Completely forgetting that the unstoppable is only after the SP3. Hulkbuster intercepts me, and the rest is history. So I definitely need to brush up on my Dragon Man, without a doubt. John, on Seaton, I'll be honest, I have not had the time to look at it yet, but I definitely am going to. So thank you. I appreciate it. And then K21 ran one as well. But I think they're on slightly different topics as far as maximizing out the EQ. All right, let's get him to throw that. And so this is what I'm talking about. We're going to throw the SP3, and then we're just going to be able to dive straight in. He's going to be unblockable and unstoppable, and it's just so much fun. My personal biggest issue with Dragon Man, and I have this issue with some champions like this, is that like I they make me want to start brawling and play not very smart. So, but that's that's, as they say, a personal problem. That is not a problem with the champion themselves. I think he's great. I think he's awesome. I think we're going to continue to see him in war more and more and more. And John, no, I intend to watch Seaton, the Seaton video, because I do want to make sure I maximize my rewards there. What it is for me, and is I streamed twice yesterday, and so I have to be very. I think the word is diligent. I have to be very diligent on. Who cares? So let's go ahead and throw the SP3. He heals back the damage. When he's unstoppable from the SP3, he will actually heal back the damage he takes. I am running the recovery mastery, so he will heal back the full 100%. So watch this. So even if... Oh, well, I didn't want to send him red. That was a mistake. I'm trying to talk about too many things at once. But John, I need to be very regimented, I guess is the word, on my YouTube and gaming time. And so I chose to stream twice yesterday, and then I just had to shut it down. I had to, any other extra time was on my other job or my job, and then of course my family. So I'll probably watch it this afternoon. And then this was not the best display of Dragon Man play, but it is what it is. Anon 187, being a parent during the pandemic was tough, but like you said, we just worked through it. Yep. Yeah. Hope our kids can be kids again very soon. Yeah. That is a great way of just pointing out. It's like, I can't wait till my kids can just like run and play and, go up to people in the park. And like yesterday or this weekend, we went to a park, and there was a family playing with stomp rockets. If people know what they are, it's this like, it's a very simple mechanism, but basically you push air very quickly through a pipe, and you put on like a foam rocket. And there was what appeared to be a mother and a child, and they were very inviting and welcoming to my 5-year-old. But then it was very clear, like, I was looking at the other parent. We were trying to figure out, okay, how okay are we with this, and letting them get close together. It's just stuff that you don't want 5-year-olds or 10-year-olds or really anyone having to think about. But we'll get through it. So, what I like doing with Dragon Man is cornering them and spamming SP3. He reduces their power gain rate above. Yeah, exactly. And as you saw, I just got too careless with it. So then I got him. Wait, did you just nullify? I don't think so. If we nullified, that shouldn't be happening. Dragon Man does not have a nullify, right? Or am I somehow messing this up? Hector, family. Hector, come on now. But funny. Zero Frustration. Hey, Vega, how are you today? Dude, I am doing great. How are you? And I am pretty sure there's no nullify on Dragon Man. If there is, please correct me. Do not hesitate to correct me on this. We will go ahead and use Magneto just because he's the obvious counter here. And then we'll get back to Dragon Man. I had that problem with Gulk, where I feel like the champions are very well made. And you just feel like brawling, like, despite knowing it's not a good idea, you just find yourself, or I find myself, where I'm like, I'm going in. You got the face me going, and his animations, and I don't know. It's very me, like I've said, I'm kind of excitable, and I enjoy these aspects of the game. They're just not the smartest way to play it. All right, let's see if that kills our boy Warlock here. How did you gain that power with Mystic Dispersion? So I am running 5/5 Mystic Dispersion. So if there was a buff that came off, I should feed a little bit of Mystic Dispersion. But But the power, so the power gain on Dragon Man is just intense. It is intense. And it can accumulate very quickly. Well, here, let's see who the opponent is. Sorcerer. She has that nullify on the SP1. Well, you know, the worst thing that happens is we die. Let's go ahead and see how this works out. That's the worst thing that could happen. White Bear, what's up, buddy? Thanks for showing up. But I will try to build to the, I'll just play it really slow. The thing is, she has that slow power gain too. It's kind of an interesting matchup. I'll try to hold block and hope she doesn't throw the SP1. And we'll let our power just really build, which will let the power gains go here. All right, let's see here. And then we'll try to get to a second one if we can. That will, I believe that will increase the length of our unstoppable, if I'm getting it totally right. Let's see if we can get her to throw her SP2. She's armor broken us, so she should start getting a degen, which is kind of a cool effect. Still don't want her to throw her SP1 though. All right, so we've got ours. And then let's just go in and go ham on her. If she throws her SP2, we'll just see what happens. Is this the Dragon Man display? You know, we were asked to run it. It was kind of impromptu. So just kind of having some fun with it and seeing what happens. You can see the reduced power gain from her. And then we'll go in. Let's throw our SP2. We'll apply some incinerates. And then if we can, we will... I messed that up. But I was going to go in and apply a second incinerate from the second SP2 and then detonate that with a heavy. It actually does very good damage. It can do very, very good damage. So, but, you know, it is what it is. We're just having some fun there with Dragon Man. What's up, Robin? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. All right. Build her power a bit more, and then we'll doom cycle her. Sorry, I just got a message from someone. Let's see if this will finish her off. I don't think it will. Oh, and it did. All right, let's catch up on chat for a bit. Samitra, hey, Vega, recently farted from chat. Dude, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, it's awesome. I always love hearing that from folks. We're definitely streaming more and more. This is pretty much the time of the week that I'm going to try to do a daily stream. I can't commit to doing it every day yet, but I enjoy this time. It really works out for me. We go for about an hour. In fact, I'm going to have to sign off here pretty soon. But I'd love it. Love it if you can stop by and have some fun, ask some questions, communicate. And then I'll keep doing the war videos and the champion breakdowns and some crystal openings for sure. We'll be a little more tailored with those. I think Stryfe is going to be our next one. That crystal of Stryfe and whoever comes out next. We're done with work now. It's time to chill. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming by. Drop. The Stryfe has been a pain. Yeah, you know, anyone new is going to be a pain. New animations and things like that. So no matter how easy someone, you know, we say they're going to be or something like that, new is difficult. Or even if you haven't just fought them in a while, it can be different. It can be difficult. Vega, how many units for the Easy Path in Abyss? I don't know, because so much that's going to have to do with your roster, how you are playing that day, how comfortable you maybe are switching the easy path. I don't remember if there's any suicides. But anyways, if you're boosted, things like that, my advice is go in with more than you think you need, right? So farm those revives, farm the units, farm all those resources, jump in, and if it's not going well, back out. Because, you know, that's such a long quest. The fights take a long time, that you could find yourself in a situation where you've gone in so far and then, you know, something goes wrong. So overshoot how many you think you need. It's better to have stuff left over than to get like 2 or 3 fights away from the end and then feel like you have to start buying units or something like that. Liam Golly, do you think Sentinel should not be a metal champion because in the films they aren't made of metal? Interesting. In the films, they're not made of metal? Correct. What are they made of, if you recall? It's a detail that definitely went over for me. I haven't seen the X-Men stuff in a while, though, I will admit. White Bear, I found Stryfe's SP1 very simple to dex. But I say easier than Apocalypse. That is true. Apocalypse, even if you get it down, so I'm working on it. I've got it to where I can get the first 2 pretty regularly. It's that third one. There's clearly a little rhythm to getting the third beam or third dex down that I don't have yet. That clips me quite a bit. Need a strong skill R5, don't we all? Only have Aegon and A5, don't have Nick Fury in my roster. Sounds very similar to my problem. Should I R5 Did the Orange Awaken her, or R5 Elsa and Awaken her? Between those two, I think Elsa will probably provide you a lot more utility. She does have a lot. I am not a huge Elsa fan, but there's a lot of very smart players that really like her and enjoy her. I do think she has the ability, as we look at the kits and the meta, I think she has the ability to become more important as time goes on. I could really see that. And I think that the way she is designed, it's unlikely that she just all of a sudden becomes useless. So I would think there, if you don't need to use those resources though, because awakening a champion is a big deal. That's a precious resource. So if you don't need to do any of that, I would recommend just hold off. But it's a fun game. It's fun to rank up people. It's fun to use resources. So if you're doing it for that reason, I would say probably go Elsa. John Lash, I've heard people say 5 keys if you have the stash, okay with no stash. Yeah, that sounds a lot more expensive than when I ran it. But again, it's all relative. And also I had the perfect counter for every single fight. And that changes things significantly. In fact, a lot of my runs, it's been a long time. I was I was pretty early on in finishing it. In fact, we're gonna be signing off here in a little bit, so we'll just kind of answer some questions here. But I was able to get the Legends run on them, and I don't remember exactly how much time there was, but I was done well before they even announced that they were going to be announcing the Legends champions on that. So it's been a while, was the relevance of this. And I remember there were some lanes where I even brought in champions like Mr. Fantastic because I liked how he synergized with Doom for specific fights. Or I had lanes where I was able to bring in Void and Human Torch because I liked them for different fights and things like that. So it's all relative. That's why the unit questions are really tough to answer. And I would feel really badly saying, a certain amount and someone gets into it and they realize it's just not panning out for them. Zero Frustration, he's made of, and I quote, a space-age polymer, not an ounce of metal. Okay, so, but isn't that kind of like, that's like the scene in Spider-Man where Green Goblin says, like, I'm actually a bit of a scientist myself. And then we have him as a tech champion, right? So, but I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Like, I recall being a little bit confused when Black Panther wasn't metal. And then someone pointed it out that, well, that's because it's vibranium. And if you go to the comics, this actually fits in. I was like, oh, yeah, that's completely right. Like, what was I thinking? So, yeah, I don't know. You make sense, but we can't always apply logic to these things, apparently. Richard Beldy. Got 4,000 shards from the side event. Congratulations. Had enough to open one featured. Got Cosmic Ghost Rider. That is awesome. R2 instantly, not Thronebreaker, have the most Cosmic Tier 5. Dude, congratulations. That's awesome. Like, that's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to work. Like, that, I am so excited to read that. So often, folks will say like, hey, should I rank 3 Green Goblin for Thronebreaker? And it's so hard, right? Because immediately my first thought is like, no, you shouldn't. I know Thronebreaker looks enticing, and those free crystals that we get daily are really great. But and so if someone can break up Cosmic Ghost Rider to get Thronebreaker, that's awesome. That's when RNG works the way we want it to. John, thank you so much for stopping by. Like I said, I'm going to be signing off here in just a minute. Duarte. Hi from Portugal. Thank you so much for stopping by, dude. I apologize. We're going to be signing off here in a little bit. I tried to put how long I think we're going to be on in the streams, in the stream title. So make sure you kind of check that out. It's a little hint there that I'd like to give folks, because I know what it's like when you sign on to a stream and then you find out that the person is signing off right away. We will definitely be rating KT1 here. He is awesome. He is knowledgeable, and he is hilarious. And he helped me get started. He helped me get started so much. Probably a lot of you came from KT1. Great dude. We got to know each other while we were in NY together. And he had told me, I'm sure you've heard the story, but he had told me, look, if you work hard at this and your content's any good, I will shout you out and help you out. And he has done that exact thing. So if you guys don't mind, please, let's go raid KT1. And then I'm going to have that break that I take every day at this time with my daughter. Steve, thank you so much for showing up. Kai, thank you for showing up. I'm sorry that we're signing off right as you sign on, but we will continue to try to do this on the weekdays every week. Thanks so much for stopping by, everyone. I had a great time hanging out as usual. I hope you did too. And I will catch you all very, very soon.